Have you ever laid in bed staring at the ceiling, wide awake, wondering why sleep feels harder now than it used to? You're not alone. After 65, a good night's sleep can feel like a moving target. You wake up more often, it takes longer to fall asleep, and some nights it just doesn't happen at all, no matter how tired you feel. And the strange part? It's not always about what you do during the day. Sometimes, it's what you're doing just before bed that's making all the difference. Tonight, we're going to talk about 4 common habits that might seem harmless, or even helpful, but can quietly sabotage your sleep, drain your energy, and leave you feeling foggy the next morning. By the end of this video, you may have the knowledge to protect your rest, sharpen your focus, and feel more energized just by changing a few things before bedtime. So stay with me until the very end, because some of these lessons might surprise you, and they're easier to fix than you think. Let's get started. Don't eat a light snack before bed, unless you're doing it right. We've all heard the advice, don't go to bed hungry. And for many seniors, that's actually solid guidance. But there's a twist. What you eat before bed matters far more than whether you eat at all. Many people reach for a quick bite before turning in. Maybe some crackers, cereal, a piece of fruit, or toast. It feels light and easy. But these foods are often loaded with refined carbs or sugars that spike your blood sugar. And here's the problem. When your blood sugar spikes right before bed, it's guaranteed to crash a few hours later. And that crash, it wakes you up. Often in the middle of the night, around 2 or 3 a.m., leaving you restless and staring at the ceiling. Over time, this can throw your sleep-wake cycle completely out of rhythm. You wake up feeling groggy, even after what should have been a full night's rest. So what should you do instead? If you're truly hungry before bed, go for a small, protein-rich snack. A slice of turkey, a few almonds, or a spoonful of cottage cheese. These help keep your blood sugar stable and give your body the fuel it needs to stay asleep. Pair it with a calming herbal tea like chamomile or valerian root, and your nervous system will thank you. Never watch the news or any stressful TV. Right before bed, it might sound harmless. Just 30 minutes of evening news before lights out. You want to stay informed, but what you're actually doing is triggering your brain's stress response, right when it should be winding down. Here's what happens. When you watch a story about conflict, violence, or disaster, your body produces cortisol, a stress hormone that keeps you alert and on edge. Even if you don't feel upset on the surface, your brain is absorbing the message. Stay alert, stay ready. And cortisol doesn't just vanish once the TV's off. It can linger for hours, raising your heart rate, making your mind race, and preventing your body from entering deep restorative sleep. You may fall asleep, but it's light, restless, and easily disturbed. And if this becomes a nightly habit, your sleep quality suffers long-term, even if you're getting the hours in. So what's a better option? Try a calm-down routine instead. Replace the news with a peaceful activity. Read a light book. Listen to soft instrumental music. Do some gentle stretches or write in a gratitude journal. These habits signal your body to relax and prepare for sleep, rather than stay on high alert. And if you do want to stay updated on current events, do it earlier in the day, when your mind is better equipped to process and reset. If you're still here and finding these tips helpful, comment the number 1 below to let me know you're watching and learning. And if you haven't already, now's a good time to hit the like button and subscribe. This channel is here for people like you, people who are taking their health seriously, staying curious, and making smart changes that truly matter. Now that we've talked about eating before bed and the mental toll of stressful media, it's time to move on to something a little sneakier. Something most people do without thinking, every single night, that can interfere with sleep in surprising. Let's move on to point number 3. Let's keep going. We've already talked about 2 common nighttime habits, eating the wrong light snack and watching stressful news that quietly interfere with your sleep after 65. But now, let's talk about one of the most overlooked mistakes. It's something that feels comforting in the moment, but in the long run, it could be making you tired, achy, and even more forgetful. Don't lie in bed, scrolling your phone. Let's be honest, phones have become a kind of bedtime crutch. A few minutes on social media, a couple of videos, maybe even a quick game of solitaire. It feels harmless. In fact, it feels like it helps you wind down. But here's the truth. Using your phone right before bed, especially while already under the covers, can wreak havoc on your sleep cycle in two major ways. First, there's the blue light. Your phone emits a strong blue spectrum light that interferes with your body's natural production of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Even a few minutes of scrolling can delay melatonin release, tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. The result? It takes longer to fall asleep, and even when you do drift off, your sleep is lighter and more fragmented. Second, there's the mental stimulation. Every swipe, every comment, every unexpected headline sends a tiny jolt of dopamine through your brain. And that's not calming, it's exciting. Your mind becomes more active, more alert, and more likely to start racing when you should be. Winding down. And let's not forget the emotional impact, especially for seniors. Social media can trigger feelings of loneliness, worry, or frustration, even if it's subtle. Comparing your life to others, reading negative comments, or simply absorbing the noise of the internet can leave you feeling unsettled without even realizing it. So what's the alternative? Create a phone-free zone at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Charge your phone in another room or across the room. If you rely on it for an alarm, use a traditional alarm clock instead. Pick up a real book, listen to calming music, or write down your thoughts in a notebook. These slow, screen-free rituals help your brain transition from busy mode to restful mode, naturally. Many seniors tell me, I just check my phone for a few minutes to relax, but those few minutes often turn into 30, and they pay for it all night long. Now, here's another surprising habit you may not even realize is affecting your sleep, and it's especially common among people trying to take care of their health. Don't take certain supplements or medications. Right before bed, this one catches a lot of people off guard. You've probably heard that bedtime is a good time for vitamins or your evening pill routine. But not all supplements are sleep-friendly, and some can actually keep you awake or disrupt deep rest, especially if taken too late in the evening. Let's start with multivitamins. Many contain B-complex vitamins, like B6 and B12, which are fantastic for energy and metabolism. But at night, they stimulate your brain and can cause vivid dreams or interrupted sleep. The same goes for magnesium blends. Some types like magnesium citrate can cause loose stools or digestive discomfort, which might wake you up. And don't forget about prescription medications. Some blood pressure meds, asthma inhalers, and steroids are best taken earlier in the day. If you're taking them at night and having trouble sleeping, it's worth talking to your doctor about timing. Here's the fix. Go over your medication and supplement schedule with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask which ones are better in the morning and which truly belong at night. A simple timing adjustment could mean the difference between tossing and turning, or waking up refreshed. If this tip struck a chord and you're finding this helpful, comment the number 3 below. It means a lot to know someone like you is listening, learning, and taking care of their body and mind. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit the like button if this content is helping you. This channel exists for people like you, those who care deeply about living well and aging wisely. Now that we've talked about late-night screen time and supplement timing, we're going to shift into something a little deeper in the next section. We'll explore how the emotions we carry into bed, especially unspoken worries, can impact our sleep and our health far more than we realize. Let's continue now. So far, we've explored the physical habits that disturb sleep after 65, like late-night snacking, screen time, and poorly timed medications. But there's something else, something quieter, that often gets overlooked: the emotional habits we carry into bedtime. As we get older, we tend to accumulate more than just aches and pains. We carry memories, regrets, fears, and responsibilities. And for many seniors, nighttime becomes the moment when all those thoughts rise to the surface. Don't go to bed with a heavy heart. Unspoken worries can steal your sleep. You know the feeling. The house is finally quiet, the lights are off, and you're lying in bed, eyes closed, but your mind is racing. You think about a conversation you wish you'd handled differently. You worry about your adult children, your finances, your health, maybe even your legacy. All the what-ifs come flooding in, and suddenly you're wide awake in the dark with no one to talk to but your own thoughts. This isn't just a mental issue, it's a biological one. When your mind is flooded with worry, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These are stress hormones, and they're the opposite of what you need to relax. Even if you manage to fall asleep, your brain stays in a lighter, more anxious state, making it easier to wake up and harder to feel rested. Now here's something that might surprise you. Research shows that loneliness and unspoken emotional stress are two of the strongest predictors of poor sleep in older adults. Not noise, not caffeine, emotions. So what can you do about it? Start by creating a simple evening reflection practice. Just 5 minutes. Sit down with a pen and paper. Yes, really write it down and let your mind unload. Jot down any worries, lingering thoughts, or things that didn't go the way you wanted during the day. Don't censor. Just get it out. Then list 1 or 2 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. A phone call with a friend, a warm cup of tea, the way the sunlight came through the window. These small anchors bring your nervous system out of fight or flight and into a state of rest. And if something's truly bothering you, say it out loud, even if no one else is there. Name it. Giving language to your emotions helps release their grip on your body and brain. For many people, this simple routine becomes the most powerful part of their sleep hygiene, not because it fixes everything, but because it acknowledges what's real. And sometimes, that's all we need to rest. We're not done yet, but before we move on, I want to check in with you. If this part spoke to you, drop a 5 in the comments and let us know you're on this journey with us. You're not alone. This channel isn't just about tips. It's about connection, community, and living fully at every stage of life. So if you haven't yet, like this video and subscribe for more life-changing insights. You being here matters. Now that we've talked about the emotional weight we carry to bed, let's take one final step forward. Because there's one more habit that ties everything together. One that might be sabotaging your sleep without you even realizing it. And it's not what you eat or what you think, it's what you don't do. A simple act that could help calm your nervous system, balance your hormones, and help you fall asleep faster without a single pill. Let's move into the final section now. We've talked about the foods you eat, the screens you use, the pills you take, and the worries you carry, and how each one can quietly interfere with your sleep after 65. Now let's look at one final habit that often goes unnoticed. It's simple, powerful, and free, but so often skipped. And the truth is, making this one change could help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up with more energy than you've had in years. Don't skip a wind-down ritual. Your body needs permission to rest. Here's something we often forget. Your body doesn't come with a switch. You can't go from high alert to peaceful slumber in the blink of an eye, especially after 65, when your circadian rhythm becomes more sensitive to disruption. And yet, most people still try to go straight from busy and awake to lights out and asleep without any transition in between. That's like expecting a moving train to stop instantly, without slowing down first. What's missing is a wind-down ritual, a period of 30-60 minutes in the evening where your body and brain begin to shift gears. Without that, your sleep may feel delayed, fragmented, or shallow, even if you're doing everything else right. Here's what a wind-down ritual might look like. Turning down bright lights an hour before bed to trigger natural melatonin release. Doing 5 minutes of gentle stretching to release physical tension from your neck, shoulders, or hips. Listening to soft instrumental music, rain sounds, or guided meditations. Practicing deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. This calms your nervous system. Drinking a warm, non-caffeinated tea, like chamomile, rooibos, or lemon balm, journaling or reading something light and uplifting. What matters most isn't the specific activity, it's the consistency. When you repeat a ritual every night, your brain begins to recognize the signals. It's time to slow down. It's safe to let go. Over time, this builds a powerful association between those habits and restful sleep, one that no pill or product can replace. And for those who say, "I don't have time for a ritual," remember, the cost of poor sleep is much higher than a few extra minutes of quiet. You deserve peace. You deserve to rest. But sometimes your body just needs a little help knowing it's okay. Let's gently recap. Let's quickly review what we've learned, not as a checklist, but as a gentle invitation to care for your evenings more intentionally. After 65, avoid these 4 common bedtime mistakes: eating sugar-heavy or carb-heavy snacks that spike and crash your blood sugar, watching stressful news or TV that activates your stress response and delays deep rest, using phones or screens in bed, which disrupt melatonin and overstimulate your brain, taking stimulating vitamins or meds late in the day, or skipping your wind-down ritual entirely. And remember the deeper layers too. Don't carry unspoken worries to bed. Write them out or speak them. Don't ignore the signs of your body asking to slow down. These aren't just sleep tips. They're acts of self-respect. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your own nightly routine. Reading your comments inspires this community and helps others know they're not alone on this journey. If you found value in this video, please take a second to like it, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. We're building something special here, an informed, supportive place for people who are aging with intention and grace. Thank you for joining me today. Your time, attention, and heart mean everything. Remember, small changes lead to big results, and every night is a chance to begin again. Sleep well, and we'll see you in the next video.